Hello YouTube, Matthew Williams here. This is part 3 of the little discussion, which is born out of the question that was asked by somebody on the Crop Circle forum, whereby have I deviated from my original reasons for being involved in the subject. I think it's kind of like, and I'm saying no, I didn't. My wish has always been to help people understand what is going on with crop circles. Now, strangely enough, even though I say that crop circles are made by people, I do believe in paranormal experiences. I forgot to tell you the point. I mentioned it earlier on, but I didn't expand upon it. Anyway, the Circlemaker, who's been making most of the circles in Wiltshire this year, the same one that said, I'm not going to make them in the area this year. I'm going to stick them all around the edges, but not in the middle where you expect them. Sorry. Hey, what are you doing? Stop it. My dog steals tissue paper and eats it, so she's having her little fix of tissue paper there. Right. So anyway, this gentleman, who shall remain unnamed, he chooses to not be known, and his face is not very well known. Put it like this. And yet he is one of the biggest circle makers out there, and hats off to him. He has been one of the best circle makers and one of the most diligent circle makers over the years. He decided to prove the point that people were making the circles to move stuff out of the area and not put it in the centre. Now, I have said in the past that most circle makers have experienced paranormal things whilst making circles. And I say most, but not all. Now, I've also stated that the circle makers, circlemakers.org from London, are quite dismissive of paranormal experiences, but if you actually sit them down and talk to them about their experiences, they've had some pretty damn strange experiences whilst making crop circles, and I believe they're sincere in what they say, but they're a bit dismissive. That's just the nature. It's kind of like, well, we had this strange thing happen to us, but we don't care about that because we're artists, we don't know what that is anyway. And you kind of go, no, tell me more, and they have more to tell, but they don't like to kind of go down that route. Don't know why, they don't kind of like to open up about it, but I do like circle makers to open up about their paranormal experiences, because I'm interested in people's genuine stories. I think that's exciting. Anyway, guess what? One of the only circle makers out there who has maintained he's never had any strange experiences in the circles and really can't put his hand on anything strange that's ever happened to him, ever, this year, this same circle maker who decided to not do anything in the central area to prove his point that humans are actually making circles, guess what he had this year? He had a strange sighting of a craft whilst he was making a crop circle, and it freaked him and the other team members out, and they all went back and discussed what they said they'd seen, and they'd all seen this unusual black object which was apparently shaped like a diamond, he said. So one assumes you're talking about, let me just have a look here, you're talking about a shape that's going to be like this. Yeah, I think this is what he's talking about, something like that was black, completely black, and he said extremely black, because and that's the weird part about the story, is he said it was too black, because the night was dark, but you could see around you. But this was super black. This was really, really black. And this diamond-shaped object went overhead and made no noise. But he said that it was so close as to be within the field that they were working in. And he said it was a very large, the size of an aircraft, made no noise, shape of a diamond, and moved overhead and across where they were working, and didn't make a sound. Now, I don't know of any aircraft, including spy drone type aircraft, which are being tested by the military on Salisbury Plain quite regularly at the moment. I don't know of any type of aircraft that can make zero noise. Now, there's some debate on this in some camps, but I think most people are in agreement that most aircraft propulsion systems, even on small drones, make noise. And this one didn't. So isn't it interesting that this year, when that circle maker decides to make a very big statement about how he is making the circles, and how he's going to remove them from the central area in order to make a point that it's humans doing it, and he's quite sceptical himself because he's never had any strange experiences. I must say credit to him. He actually does take, when we've worked together, and this is only a few times I've been out with him, probably count on this hand how many times I've been out with this Circlemaker, and he is the best Circlemaker, I would say, out there. He is, he's doing some of the best work, and he's consistently producing large volumes of stuff. So at the moment, he is the best Circlemaker out there, and it could be argued probably one of the best Circlemakers of all time. He has had now this strange experience, so he has had a strange experience. And isn't it funny that when he is arguing his case about the fact that humans are making these circles, he has a strange experience. It's almost like a slap in the face from the paranormal that kind of inspires people to make these circles, and we all go, yeah, we love the paranormal, that's why we make the circles, because we've seen things and we've had things happen to us. And he's going down quite rightfully, I think, he's going down this hardline route of it's people doing the circles, it's people, I'll prove to them it's the people, because I'll just make them go outside. And he's had his own paranormal experience this year. I love this, because this to me is like this is what I term as the cosmic joker, right? I don't know what guides us to make crop circles, and I don't know what gives us the inspiration, and I don't know what actually is going on with how the researchers get their paranormal experiences, and that the circle makers get their paranormal experiences, but we all do, And what I know is that if you demand something, the paranormal will not give it to you. Yeah? And if you stop demanding and then give up and kind of think, I'm never going to have a paranormal experience, it'll happen to you when you least expect it. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty. We're not dealing with a static paranormal phenomena that randomly emits things. We're dealing with a phenomena that actually interacts with you on a personal level and actually can surprise you and can actually trip you up, prove you wrong to yourself. And that's what I like about the paranormal aspect to the crop circles. It's dynamic for the people that visit them, and it's dynamic for the people that create them. But the beautiful thing is that people creating them does actually allow for all of this strange dynamic and this cosmic joker, whoever he is or they are, this joker effect that we all we get it when we least expect it, or we get it when we stop demanding it, but we never get exactly what we want. We might get something we need, but it might not be what we asked for, but it's what we need. And you kind of assimilate this information and you think, yeah, that's good, I like that. That works for me now. I can see, I was asking for A, and I was demanding A, and A never happened. B happened. B is actually better than A, but isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how that happens? And I think this is the secret to crop circles, is that really the researchers, I argue, and I'm quite ranty, and I'm quite, it sounds quite negative sometimes, the points I'm putting across, but I really think that myself, the makers and the researchers actually have a lot more in common than the researchers are prepared to give credit to and would want to accept, because I think the researchers want to think that they're special, that only they have the answers and only they are being contacted, and what we as circle makers are trying to kind of say is we're all being contacted. We're all part of this, and you can choose to be a researcher on the outside looking in, and you will get your experiences and your aspect of the phenomena. But if you want to be, you can also be a circle maker, and you will have strange things happening to you. Personally, I believe a lot more, because you're right in the centre of the phenomena. You're right in the centre. You're not an observer on the outside looking in. You're in the centre of the phenomena. And that really has worked for me more than being a researcher that I was years ago. It has worked more for me. So there's a lesson in that, and I hope people take something from it. And even a circle maker that was sceptical, one of the last sceptical circle makers out there, he's had an experience with his team this year that blew their minds.